Speaking next is Congresswoman Nikema Williams from Georgia's 5th District.
Hey y'all! Wow, I didn't realize how many people were out marching today. So y'all, today I joined you because this is an important issue and we had to march for our lives, but we shouldn't have to. I'm Congresswoman Nikema Williams and I am proud to represent Georgia's 5th Congressional District. Or as I like to call it, the Fighting 5th, because y'all, we're always going to stand up and fight for our rights in this district. Y'all, the 5th District is a historic district. We're the cradle of the civil rights movement. You're in the heart of the district right now. And y'all, we are home to generations of young activists who knew that they can change the world by making their voices heard. Before me today, I saw that same kind of leadership. And y'all, trust me, we need it now just like we needed it then. Each one of you is building on the legacy of my friend, my mentor, my predecessor, the late Congressman John Lewis. And y'all, today is exactly the good trouble that he taught us to get into. When Congressman Lewis was in his early years, y'all, he was in charge, he was leading the charge for voting rights. And today, your charge is stopping the epidemic of gun violence in this country. I know that some people will say, well, what about all of the other things that are happening in our society? But y'all, one death from gun violence is one death too many. And we've got work to do. The last 3 weeks have been sickening, and I've been horrified by the senseless acts of gun violence that we've seen in Buffalo, St. Louis, Uvalde. It reminds me of a time that I try to etch out of my memory, but I just can't. My senior year of high school, we had a school shooting at my high school. I remember it. It's etched in my mind, and I don't wish that on any young person today. I remember seeing Bobby laying there on the ground, bleeding, dying, because another student went home and got a gun and came back to school and took his life, with other students right there watching in the parking lot after school. Y'all, this isn't okay. This is something that we can do something about. We have policies in place that we just passed this week in the United States House that we can curb senseless gun violence in this country. But it's going to take leaders willing to listen to you, leaders willing to stand up and have the courage to say no to the NRA, stand up and have the courage to say that my second grader, my Carter Cakes, his life is worth more than your right to the Second Amendment. Y'all, when I was in school, what I had to worry about were tornado drills. What are we going to do when we hear the siren go off, and what books do we put over our head to keep us safe? So I asked Carter about this because he just got promoted to second grade, and I wanted to know what he was seeing and hearing at school. And he said, well, Mommy, we have another drill that we do at school. It's what happens when bad guys come into the class or come into our building. And he said the closets aren't big enough. So some of us have to be really, really quiet, and we have to hide under our desks. Y'all, this isn't okay.
No, it's not.
Carter should be worried about the newest Pokemon that he was able to find, or learning those multiplication tables that he's so worried about going to second grade. But he's worried about if there's space in the closet to say, stay safe if a bad guy enters his school. And this isn't okay. When you go to the grocery store, y'all, you should only have to worry about if they're going to have the snacks that you're looking for that are on your grocery list, not if you're going to come out alive. But yet, this is what has come to in our country today. In the House of Representatives this week, I hope has historic, life-saving legislation to keep guns out of bad guys' hands and make it harder to buy weapons that are only intended to kill people. Y'all, getting these bills over the finish line is an absolute must. We passed them in the state house, in the U.S. House, but y'all, we have a hurdle in the U.S. Senate because too many senators right now are too worried about what the NRA thinks and not worried about what you, the constituents, think. We need to hear from you. You need to continue to march. We have to continue to hear your voice because y'all, our lives are at stake. We're marching today for our lives. I marched today for my Carter Cake's life. All of our lives are on the line. That's why we march. But y'all, we can't stop here. And I know that you won't stop here in the Fighting Fifth. In Congress, I will continue to lift up your voice and the voices of the young constituents like the ones that I met with earlier today at my youth town hall. Y'all, I pledge to be your voice in Congress so that we can create a country where everyone can thrive. And I'm looking at all of you, and I'm inspired. I'm inspired at so many young people that are here today leading this march, leading this rally. I'm inspired by the brave young people who stood up to the mic at the town hall this morning to let their voices be heard, to tell us we have to stop killing us. I see your sign, James. Thank you. And I know that no one here is going to let up pressure to bring gun safety to America because you are our future leaders. But actually, you aren't just our future leaders. You're the leaders of today. You're the leaders that we need right now. And y'all together, co-conspirators for justice, we're going to build a safer America for everyone. Thank you so much.